my name is Quincy Knighten. I'm a realtor here in Tampa, Florida at First Class Real Estate Gulf to Bay. And today I wanted to talk to you about being pre-qualified versus being pre-approved, which one is better for you and why that may be. First, we're going to talk about you being pre-qualified. Now, this involves you giving a lender your assets, your debts, also potential credit information, and where you work. Now, although you supply all this information, that bank or lender more than likely will not go into detail or a deep dive into any of that information at all. And they're going to give you a pretty basic estimate of what they think you can afford without any background research at all. So this is why typically getting pre-qualified is a lot quicker, but it's also a lot more dangerous when it comes to purchasing a home. For some, they may prefer this quicker process, but us as agents, we always let our clients know that that pre-qualification isn't really worth the paper that it may be printed on if you did get a printed version. One thing a pre-qualification letter may be good for is giving you a good ballpark estimate about what that lender or bank think you may be able to be qualified for. Although that number is not going to be completely accurate, it is something that gives you a head start. So if you're not looking to buy immediately and you don't want the hard pull on your credit, then it may be a route that you can take just to see what you may be able to be qualified for. And I'm pretty sure that most banks or lenders will be more than happy to provide that pre-qualification letter for you. In order to get pre-approved, you will have to submit a official mortgage application with whatever bank or lender you're choosing to work with at the time. You will also have to supply all the necessary documents so that they can take a nice deep dive into your credit and financial histories as well, just to get a really accurate idea of what they would be willing to offer you when it comes to an approval amount so you can purchase your home. I want you to keep in mind that these credit checks, as well as your financial history checks and job verification, if the lender does do it at the time, is going to be all preliminary, and it will be for the purpose of your pre-approval. This will allow them to give you a good estimate of what your interest rate is going to be, and also give you a loan amount that they're currently willing to provide for you. Now, everything will get checked again once you go into contract, and this is during the underwriting process. And that's something that we will also discuss in a separate video during the pre-approval process. As I stated, they will do a deep dive into your credit and financial histories. So this will require you to submit certain documentation to them. For W-2 workers, they will typically ask for your your W-2s for the last 2 years or so. And if you're a 1099 worker, then they will want to see you have 2 years of taxable income, and they will take a look at your tax returns as well. And they prefer you to be on the same job or similar style job for at least 2 years. So if you were once a W-2 worker and then you switched over to a 1099 contract worker, then you really want to speak with a lender to see if they would be able to offer you a pre-approval, because sometimes once you switch over to a 1099 worker, that's a different style of work. Although it may be in the same field, you're paid very differently. So they may require you to start that 2-year process all over again. So make sure you speak with a lender ahead of time, so that way they can walk through that process with you. One advantage to being pre-approved over pre-qualified is that home sellers will have a lot more confidence in your offer that you make, and also a lot more confidence in your ability to potentially close on the home with the offer that you make. Being pre-qualified, that's not to say that you won't be able to, but the chances are lower just due to the fact that there was no verification of a lot of the information that you filled out to get pre-qualified. Being pre-approved is also not a guarantee, though, that you're going to qualify at the end of the process for the loan that they offered you. The underwriting process that you're going to go through is going to complete that verification. They're going to do an even deeper dive into your financial history. They're probably going to be asking for more documentation that you submitted to the lender or the bank originally as well. Just be patient during this process and send everything that they're asking of you, and it'll allow the process to speed up a little bit more, but sometimes it can take a while for them to complete that check. Once the lender has done his or her due diligence when it comes to all of your paperwork and your documentation, they will then provide you with a loan commitment letter. Now this letter will include the interest rate that they're offering based on your credit and everything, as well as a potential loan amount. Now that number that you see is usually going to be the max that they're willing to offer you. So that's the number that you're going to use to start your home search, either whether you're doing it by yourself or if you're going to be using an agent. There is one more option when it comes to getting pre-approved, and this is a fully underwritten pre-approval. Now, a lot of people may not know this, but you do have the option, depending on your lender as well, of going through the underwriting process before you get pre-approved, and that will make your pre-approval that much stronger in the end. This process is called pre-underwriting, and once complete, you will have a fully approved loan amount, and the only thing you have left to do is go out and pick your home. Now, I will say that although most of the underwriting is completed up front, once you do go under contract, the lender will still have to do due diligence on the home itself. So they will still order an appraisal, and you will have to still go through that process to make sure that the home is going to be worth the amount that they're offering you. Going with a fully underwritten pre-approval will allow you to close on your home a lot faster, of course, depending on how quickly you can get an appraisal done. It will make your offer look a lot better compared to just regular pre-approvals that they may have. And it also allows you to waive things like your financing contingencies if necessary. So you don't have to put in there that, hey, I have to apply for this loan and qualify for this loan before I can actually close on this house. And if I don't, then I have to back out. In your case, you typically will not have to worry about that unless you change jobs in the middle of the process or anything like that. But typically, that amount is fully approved already and you're good to go. Getting a pre-underwritten pre-approval also does not mean that you can go out and start spending like crazy or switching jobs or using credit cards and making your credit score drop, because that still will and still can affect your ability to close at the end of the day. So still take this process just as you would with a normal pre-approval. If you get the pre-underwritten approval, take it the same exact way and try not to change your credit score, try not to change jobs during this process, because it will end up with you not being able to close on your home. Just to do a quick recap, we talked about 3 different ways that you can get approved or pre-approved for a loan so you can start your home search. The first option is a pre-qualification letter. Now this is just a basic guesstimate of what you may be able to qualify for when it comes to purchasing a home. You just submit basic financial information over to a lender, and they give you an amount based on what you sent them without doing much of a dive at all into your history. The second option is a traditional pre-approval. Now this does require you to apply with an official mortgage application and also submit documentation about your credit, work history, as well as financial history. And this will allow them to give you an amount that they're willing to offer you to purchase your home. And the third option is a fully underwritten pre-approval. Now, this is the step ahead of the actual pre-approval process, and they do the underwriting up front, or a majority of the underwriting up front. You still have to submit all the same documentation and even more, so that way they can give you an accurate and fully approved amount so that you can start your home search and be a leg up over everyone else that may be submitting pre-qualification letters or regular pre-approval letters during your home buying process. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to drop them in the comment section below. I will also put my contact information in the description below as well. In our future videos, we will be discussing the underwriting process, loan types, and a lot more information when it comes to the home buying process. So please stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time.